We're going to talk about the endocrine system. The main thing you need to know for this AandP overview is the endocrine glands and the hormones they secrete. The first group that we're going to talk about are the hormones that are controlled by the hypothalamus. Now, these hormones are called hypophysiotropic hormones because they're formed in the hypothalamus. And this first group is under indirect control. These are tropic hormones. Tropic hormones are hormones that affect organs that release other hormones. Okay, and so these are all going to work on the anterior pituitary. It is also called the adenohypophysis. Okay, the other hormones that are under direct control by the hypothalamus come from the posterior pituitary, and that's called the neurohypophysis because it comes in direct contact with the hypothalamus. So let's talk about the ones that affect the anterior pituitary. We have the corticotropin releasing hormone. This tells the anterior pituitary to release ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, which works on the adrenal cortex. That's the outer layer of the adrenal gland. Now, this produces glucocorticoids, which are cortisol and cortisone, gonadocorticoids, which are androgen and estrogen, and mineralocorticoids, which is your aldosterone. Now, just a note, the ones with the little dot in front of them, those are the hormones. Okay? Now, the next one is the thyrotropin releasing hormone, works on the anterior pituitary to produce TSH. And then the works on the anterior pituitary, stimulates that to produce TSH. It stimulates the thyroid to produce T4, T3, and calcitonin. The growth hormone releasing hormone, okay, works on the anterior, is released from the hypothalamus, and then the anterior pituitary releases growth hormone, okay, and it works on and then it acts on the liver to produce somatometins, and this works on bone, muscle, and other tissues. Alrighty. There also is a growth hormone inhibiting hormone, and it does exactly what it says. It inhibits the release of growth hormone. Okay, it's also known as somatostatin. This next one is gonadotropin releasing hormone. Okay, it's released by the hypothalamus, and it tells the anterior pituitary to produce FSH and LH, and they work both in the male and the female. In the testes, it causes it to produce testosterone and inhibin. This inhibin decreases the sperm count, and in the females, it has the ovaries produce progesterone, and inhibin in the females inhibits FSH. This and sorry, that's my cat crawling over there. All right, where was I? Okay, I'm back. So the last one of those is the prolactin releasing factor. Okay, tells the anterior pituitary to produce prolactin. That's the hormone. Okay, it also produces prolactin inhibiting hormone, which inhibits the release of prolactin, and that's called prolactostatin. Now, also the hypothalamus has direct control of the hormones. Okay, these are not tropic hormones. So again, this is the posterior pituitary. It releases, there are two One is ADH, which is antidiuretic hormone. Another word for that is vasopressin. Okay, this is under an osmoreceptor stimulation. So what'll happen is you have an increased osmolality in the blood, and what this means is you have more solids than you have water. Okay, so it's more concentrated. So increased osmolality, you have increased thirst, increased ADH, and increased water reabsorption. Right? It also produces oxytocin, which is under a sensory stimulation. Okay, and this works in both the males and the females. I just wanted to do a brief overview of the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. So renin is manufactured in the kidneys, the angiotensin in the lungs, and the aldosterone is in the adrenal cortex. So angiotensinogen is converted to angiotensin by renin, which is in the kidney, okay? And then this ACE, which is angiotensin converting enzyme, converts it to angiotensin 2. Now, the overall effect is an increase in blood pressure and blood volume. Okay? Now, the feedback is that as angiotensin increases, the renin decreases. When you're given an ACE inhibitor, this is where it blocks it. Uh-oh, come on, change. Okay, now, the rest of these gland organs are not under control by the hypothalamus. So the first one is the thymus. It's located behind the sternum in the mediastinum, and this includes the heart, the thymus, the trachea, and the bronchial tubes. The hormone is thymosin. The pineal gland, you can see it right here, okay, is located in the central portion of the brain. The hormone it releases is melatonin. The parathyroid glands are 4 small oval bodies located on the dorsal side of the thyroid gland, and that is the back. So these are the parathyroid glands. Okay, the hormone that they produce are parathyroid hormone. You also see it as PTH or a parathormone. The adrenal medulla, this is activated by the sympathetic nervous system in times of stress, and it's fast acting. The hormones that it produces are epinephrine and norepinephrine, and these are catecholamines. The pancreas. This is located near and partially behind the stomach in the region of the first and second lumbar vertebrae. The hormones that it secretes are glucagon in the alpha cells and insulin in the beta cells.